What up, guys? This is Caps and Cards 716. I'm your host, Spidey, and I'm joined today by Tyler, North Shore Fitteds, and the professors in the house tonight. We got Prof Hatter 57. So we're gonna do a little roundtable action. We got the MLB playoffs. We got some NBA tip off, and we're talking about the NFL season. So, guys, where do you want to start?
Start out in the two disappointments, which are the most annoying fan bases all baseball. The Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Yankees both lost.
Well, I did have one of the only fitted pins on my hat, but I had this on there, and for good reason, because they basically got their ass whooped in the batter's box today. They were definitely not savages. So when you hashtag that on the hub later, just know savages will not pull up Yankees. Definitely not tonight.
Jeff, as a Cubs fan, you must be rooting for the Astros because of Matt Carpenter and who's the other one there? That was a former Cardinal. Oh, Harrison Bader. On the Yankees, you must be rooting for the Astros in the ALCS.
I haven't said. It felt like forever since I've had to watch a Cubs Cardinals game and say, "Fuck you, Bader," because he'll do something for the Cardinals that isn't good for us. So I haven't been able to do that for a while. Won't be doing that for Molina because he's gone now on the outs in the sunset retirement. But for me, I'm going to tell you that the Yankees and the Phillies are in their positions right now because of former Cubs players. The Yankees were pretty much carried by Rizzo, even on his bad back, to the ALCS with his kind of leadership and captainicity. That's a word I just made up, captainicity. And
it's captainacy.
That too. That's for the scholars, for the layman's captainicity. For the Phillies, you got Schwarber. I mean, literally Schwarber. He was number 2 in the league, not just the NL, but in the league for home runs. And like no one talked about it because Judge was, always chasing for 61 and then got it, and we all forgot. Like Schwarber did really good, guys. I mean, yes, Harper was out, so for a little bit of the season, so kind of gave Schwarber a little bit of room to kind of like be the big bat for the team. But yeah, Schwarber carrying Aroldis Chapman. I mean, even though he's not in when Aaron Boone, who I know that they don't have a award for it, but he would be a recipient for the worst manager of the year. He said that since Chapman missed a workout, that he's not gonna be on the playoff roster. But then again, Chapman, at least he's respected on a team that won a World Series with him. We appreciated him and in the Cubs organization. So if he was still on the team, he would also be a reason why the Yankees are in the position they are.
Yeah, I think the whole Chapman thing real fast, though, he's not what he was, and the young guys are bringing it up. So you can't knock him for putting like rookies like Clark Schmidt on there. And, it's just the team is good. And Aaron Hicks, losing him, even though, yes, it was a concussion, and I don't wish those on any player at any time, but he was not a big loss either, hitting like 133. So, I mean, it's just a good transition for the team to have all these young guys like Peraza, Cabrera, Gleyber Torres is finally getting some time. Donaldson is in clutch. It's just been very good, except so I pulled up a factoid today on the Yankees versus Verlander. And who do you think had the highest active batting average against him?
Current Yankees roster?
Yeah.
Probably DJ LeMahieu.
Donaldson.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Judge at like 180. which is laughable at best. And then today, so Bader Tots hit the home run. No current Yankee that had at bats this year had over 200.
I don't think they can match up with the Astros with the way the Astros are built.
Well, if Verlander is that dominant, Luis Garcia, and then
At that age too.
Framber Valdez, yeah. I mean, and you're gonna hear it here first. And I don't normally say this about Houston franchises, but since he was on the Tigers, I'll go ahead and say this without hitting my trash can. That is that Verlander is like the Tom Brady of baseball.
I couldn't stand that stat with him.
I second the motion.
And he wants to pitch till he's 45. Maybe out of the bullpen. I don't see him being a starter at 45.
Dude, he's still gassing it. That fucking pitch with I don't know, the last batter. I turned it off after the second strikeout, but like because my dad turned it off, and I was just like, you know.
He didn't play that. He didn't play most of this year, so that's what he's benefiting from.
Actually, go ahead.
We were still coming back from the Tommy John, so that's why he was fresh in the postseason. I don't see him being able to pitch a full season anymore and then be a successful starter in the postseason.
John's actually on track. He's right in more ways than one about Verlander being the Tom Brady of MLB, where very good. He is stellar at an old age, and he has a very hot supermodel wife, but sans the divorce. So, but let's keep it that way with Verlander. Actually, maybe if Kate Upton gets available, I'm always around. I
mean, wouldn't throw my name out of the hat per se.
Well, that's why I stay single, just in case.
You know,
on deck.
That's why John's in trouble.
Well, I remember. Just quick anecdote. I remember years ago when Verlander was still in the Tigers. The Cubs, the Tigers were at Wrigley, and it was like a rain out, and it was with a family friends, and the guy with me, he was in my trombone section and band, and we're like, well, we're gonna wait for the game to start. Mitch and I are gonna go try to find Kate Upton and say hi, because they're really the Tigers, and the parents are like, no, sit down, you're not gonna get lost. Like, damn it. So I was this close to meeting. No way.
So originally, I had texted TJ when he said, hey, let's get Jeff on. And I said, he hasn't seen any baseball in months being a Cubs fan. I think he'll be free tonight.
I've been deprived.
But TJ wouldn't say it. So I pretty much had to go in for the kill there.
But you know what? This was actually a magical year for me, actually, for baseball. I have been waiting all year. I mean, it was a magical year as a bandwagon Mariners fan. It was a fantastic year. I had waited 1 year for this 21-year postseason drought to end. It was magical. Julio Rodriguez was fantastic. Mitch Haniger was a power stud. You had Luis Castillo join the team later on. So, it was a magical year being a bandwagon fan for the Mariners. So can't wait.
I waited 1 year for 20 years, which is like Greek for Mariners.
Well, speaking of poverty franchises in Seattle, you got the Kraken getting their asses handed to them by the Blues right now.
And just remember, their arena is solar powered or some shit, and that makes things good.
At least they have more fans than the Coyotes.
At least they have an actual arena.
That's their own name.
I mean, only so many franchises can become the Winnipeg Jets before you just become the villain. Like they could put a team in Quebec and make them the Nordiques, or I've heard it Nordics or whatever, Nordic, because that was the North. But like you just hear it so many different ways, and the French guy saying it, so you never hear it like the right way or however some English guy is supposed to say it. But anywho, it just they could put a team there, and I think they'd sell out every night too. They have two teams in Toronto with the Marlies being right there, and they sell out every game. So like tell me that a team couldn't do well there. And I understand that they don't want to put that team in Canada, but Atlanta also is not the answer. I mean, we had the Flames and the Thrashers. The Coyotes were supposedly gonna move. And I don't know how much more expansion we're gonna be able to maintain.
I'd
I
like to
think
see Coyotes move to Houston because they're
I
AHL
was thinking
really
Texas
well.
myself, but
Because then you have the Texas rivalry with the Stars too that they could push.
there's going to be no
Yeah.
rivalry between the Stars and, if they put even just one other team down there, they would actually have to be a respected franchise.
No,
'Cause-
This-
John like the Stars.
no, this goes into my Coyotes actually go into my plan of because I'm into the WNBA and they're looking to expand for 2 more cities. So not on a like really high potential, but an idea that Arizona Coyotes move to Kansas City, become the Kansas City Scouts again, and that arena that they set up will be used for a WNBA team, maybe an NBA team in the future as well. So boom.
Pause. I have to comment on that because the Scouts do exist right now as a junior hockey club.
Okay,
so the
then
seed has
whatever.
been planted if you're going that route.
So then
Second, go
we'll rename
ahead.
the team to something else then.
Well, the
But
Scouts would be cool. They're using a hybrid logo, like a new redesign. And I won't pull it up for this, but I will post something about it later.
because we don't want another like Guardians thing where it's like, well, we didn't know that there was another Guardians. It's like bullshit. Like when you have so many legal teams, legal people there, and like it's not like, oh, it's across the country. It's like it's the same town, it's the same freaking city, and Cleveland is not that big of a city. So I don't know how you were working under a rock. I mean, I can understand, roller derby isn't all that popular, but for fuck's sake, I'll just live and work under a rock. And you're like, oh, we didn't know. It's like, come on, idiots.
It's gonna be
So we
pretty-
don't want that for the Kansas City NHL team. Because I mean, Kansas City is a pretty underrated sports town. Really good with the Chiefs, of course. Royals fans are good. I mean, when the Royals are good, but it's a really, I mean, it's a lot more kind of a niche kind of sports, but I think that they could support NHL there. Maybe basketball, but for sure
I
NHL.
think they might have an AHL or an East Coast Hockey League club that I'm referring to that is the Scouts, being that it is junior. And I think that's a very good seed for them to plant, have 5,000 people, 10,000 people come out to a game before they elevate that to 20,000 and then become a garbage franchise like, the Wild and the Blue Jackets were for years. They did not give them the fast pass that Gary Bettman tried to give Vegas, and then he completely shit on Seattle. It's a different motive when if everybody thought Vegas was going to contend and then they didn't make the playoffs now 2 years, and then you have Seattle who they were at the bottom of the Pacific with the Canucks and I think the Kings maybe, but it was just terrible division. The salary cap fiends and the just so many bad contracts.
It must be hard to be a Vegas Knights fan just because of the constant changing, shuffling of players.
Well,
everybody
all
was
these
like,
teams give away the draft picks.
well, no, they were so like into having Marc-Andre Fleury. Then they did Marc-Andre Fleury dirty. They sent him to Chicago. Then they thought they got their savior in Jack Eichel, and they gave up so much to get so much of their homegrown guys to get Jack Eichel.
But these guys weren't even homegrown. There was no farm.
Then they signed a guy like Phil Kessel to a 1-year deal. Who's like, you're trying but not trying at the same time.
Yep, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
No, but
But
what I'm saying
then,
is, as a fan, imagine being a fan and trying to pick a favorite player. They don't really have a franchise guy yet.
I just wish the mascot was cooler.
Maybe Stone.
The Gila monster.
It's better looking than whatever the fuck they put in Seattle. Did you see their troll monster?
The troll monster.
Jeez. Well, I mean, so
Bruin. I might be biased here, but the Bruins have the best mascot, Blades.
I mean,
Eh.
Silver is okay to Tommy Hawk.
And we're not even going to talk about Sabretooth here. Forget about it.
What we're going to talk about is how the Sabres got rid of the best uniforms they could possibly have, and they're finally bringing them back.
I mean, yeah, we can do that real fast.
Let me so Vegas is my number 2 hockey team because I had before a standard, Chicago team and then like a secondary team. There are a lot of teams in each league, so I think it's okay they can have like another team to root for. For NFL, I have the Broncos. Baseball, the Braves. For basketball, Utah Jazz. For hockey, I didn't really have anyone until Golden Knights, because at the time, the girl I was dating from college, she was from Vegas, so it's like, all right, be supportive and get the Vegas hat. And I, even though dumped me and used went to generic text breakup.com to send me a text about that, I still stuck with the team and still root for them because it's just a cool team. The characters were great, but to especially lose like Pacioretty recently, I mean, there have been some changes. I think the biggest change that really pissed me off, both being a Blackhawks and Vegas fan, was when they traded for Fleury, or they traded Fleury away. It's like, yeah, it was just dumb. So
he hasn't been faring too hot in the Wild.
Well,
they've got like 30 goals in their first 3 games.
And they traded their future away, which was that Kakinen. So without further ado, the curtain on my screen here, we are going to unveil the newest caps that the Sabres are doing. And here they are.
Go aheads.
No.
They have great UVs. Nice.
Yeah.
Because when I was at United Center last season for the Hawks, and I was looking for fitted hats, they had 50 on 50 fitted hats, but they were tonal. They weren't gray. So really great that they have gray.
I seen somebody complaining that hats were tonal on an MLB hat. And then somebody was trying to sell them for more money because it was tonal instead of black nasty. And I'm like, dude, not every MLB hat is black nasty. Like some of them do have tonals, especially when they're navy and dark blue. So I just wanted to point that out. But, oh my God. So I've been hitting downtown kind of hard. We got quite the I've also been recruiting some of my shit just a little bit.
Stampede, John.
What's that?
I'm gonna call it the Stampede.
What's that?
I'm gonna call it the Stampede.
Oh, the Stampede. This could be a lot of hats here, so strap in. The Sherbert, the Shabbat. I don't know. This one is fucking sexy. But with the Batterman on this bitch, that's where the heat is. Like that really draws it out. And then it's obviously just a good gray. This one, absolutely crazy.
Ooh, that one's nice. Where'd you get that, at Orchard Park?
No, downtown.
Green UV too.
Yeah, fucking phenomenal. That's actually probably one of my favorites right now. And then this in the Sabres OG way.
I'd say this is probably my favorite Bison's
The cord.
corduroy.
I don't have Bisons. I have other Buffalo hats.
Yeah, I mean that the prototype is really the only one you need right now. Vero Beach, which I was down there the other day and he pulled out some like his version, and I was just like, I don't really care for like the side patch version. Then I got the Winnipeg Whips.
I told him he's got to find a Stewie Griffin pin for Family Guy. Cool whip.
Cool whip. And I got the regular color whips. I'm just seeing how these visors look like in my feed for the first time. And then these two are bangers. So this first one here is the Bisons and Rays colors. It's got the gradient.
We have fun Halloween.
Just white. On the back is the coordinates instead of that's where Buffalo is. Longitude, latitude, and then basically the lacrosse logo that they did with the stick, just the ball. And then it's just a gray. Actually, no, that's purple.
Yeah, it looks like lavender.
Yeah, that's lavender. So yeah, that's monster. Great look. But yeah, I'm liking just like the slight curve now. I don't know what it is, but everything just fits a little better now. And this one,
logo, like the size
this is my hat of the week. It is an MILB hat. Does anybody have any idea? Just from the orange navy.
Oh, I thought that was black and red from the camera colors. But if it's orange and navy, no.
No, someone like Giants, like alternate.
This football team is one of the only undefeated 6-0 teams. That's the colorway it's in. What?
It's MILB though, not football.
Yeah, but it's in this colorway. That's why I bought it for that. So the Orangeman.
Nice.
That's a snazzy hat right there.
Now I know what you're talking about with college football. I was for some reason thinking NFL, but yeah, Syracuse 6-0. They're what are they ranked like 15?
Go Orange. Dude, they are steamrolling teams too.
How about the Vols beating Alabama?
Yeah, we do have to talk college football here for a minute.
I think the best one was the fans carrying the field goal
both down the road, yeah.
No, they
broke it.
It was just an insane scene to watch. And I remember watching one. I didn't watch the game live because I was at work. But seeing some of the replays, they had shown like once the field goal was made and everyone was going crazy, you saw the ref just like darting around like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. It's gonna be pandemonium. I can't be in all this and gotta save myself. But then it just like a whole scene. I had heard that they got fined because they let students on the field. They got fined because of the goalposts. It's like, do they really give a shit? Do they really care? No.
And I just think it was such a good game from a like defense standpoint. That was like the Wade Wilson Super Bowl with the Rams. And who am I thinking of? 2 years, Rams Chiefs, I believe.
It was the Rams Patriots.
Was that? No. Was it the Patriots?
The one where
no.
like three?
No. Wade Wilson was with Sean McVay against, I think, the Chiefs. It was one of his last coaching gigs. It was a very good game either way. And Wilson was one of the like pre-Belichick era coaches who had one of the toughest nails defenses. And they just shut down everything from every angle. It was actually just, you don't get that in a lot of games. And when games are that low scoring, people tend to turn them off. And that's where I kind of dig in because I like 3-6 game on occasion. I don't want it every week like Thursday Night Football, but that doesn't make them good games. I see we have some clink room fire, and Hatter has his Illini hat.
Illini are actually good in football for once. It's been so long. I'm even surprised. We're 6-1. Had our first loss, or the one loss we had was to Indiana. I think in like week 2. It was a closer game. We lost by 3 points. It was like going down to the wire. So once they beat Wisconsin, then it was kind of like, oh, Illinois is back. Look at that. All right, I can see that happening.
We get a
But
nice.
Wisconsin shell shocked me pretty good because I was thinking they've always had a run game. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I mean, Wilson came out of there, and I was more excited for like them to just run like a pretty good pro offense. They were one of the like premier teams in the Big Ten.
I mean, for Illinois, we kind of have like a bit of a cakewalk. We got Nebraska next, and then we have Michigan State. We're at Nebraska, and then home for Michigan State.
So that's kind of like a take the spread day.
Just about. And then the week after will be at Michigan at the Big House. So that's kind of already. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the Michigan State at home to Purdue. And then the last 2 games are on the road, Michigan and Northwestern. Northwestern will be easy. Michigan will be kind of an automatic L.
Are the Illini in the Big Ten?
But as long as we can beat Purdue, then we'll be having our shot for the West title. Because look at the standings, we're 6-1, they're 5-2. But assuming the loss to number 4, Michigan, assuming that we win the next 2 games to Nebraska and Michigan State, as long as we beat Purdue, or if Purdue loses one more game, then we'll be fine to at least clinch the West. And then
you're gonna have to play Ohio State or whatever from the
Michigan again.
Yeah,
to whoop our ass. But hey, at least we get to a title game.
Yeah, and I mean you have your 6 wins, so that'll put you in a bowl game. UB's only 1 win, I think, away, and since they lost to one Division II team this year, I'm like they should not play anywhere. And it just kind of whooped ass. So I see you have a multiple screen setup here. Why don't you discuss that with us? Kind of how you're doing things.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, usually I have a second monitor to my left, to my right here, but I haven't been able to connect that to a VGA well enough because the monitor I have right here that I'm looking at is a 4K monitor, and the other monitor was like maybe 1080p at best. So I got my iPad to my right here. I got the TV in the background there, usually playing Family Guy in the background or something with sports going on, like the Suns and the Mavs, and I'm sure the Suns aren't doing too good.
It's got to be coming up on the 4th, if not.
But I actually upgraded my TV recently, so I went from a 43-inch TV Sony that my dad garbage picked from a hotel going out of business about 10 years ago to a 55-inch LG 4K NanoCell QLED from 2021 that I got at Best Buy, worked there, but it wasn't employee discount. It was open box pricing that I paid $241 for the TV. Then I got a 3.1.2 soundbar and then added extra rear speakers. So got a whole home theater kind of ish setup to watch all the big games. And especially like having the rear speakers, it makes a big difference when watching some of the playoff games. Like when watching the Cards just totally shit the bed to the Phillies that one game when ESPN had up the stat of they were 93-0 the Cards when leading by 2 or more runs in 8 innings or later, and then all of a sudden top of the 9th, Phillies 6 out of nowhere. So yeah, No, it really makes a difference to hear the Cardinals losing in the playoffs when you have rear speakers. It really helps, and especially in 4K too, because now on YouTube TV they offer 4K. So in crystal clarity, I can feel like I'm at Busch Stadium when it's Molina's Pujols' last game. I can wave him off into the sunset.
How many people had Pujols hitting 700 home runs?
I called that. John knows that because I sent him a picture that I had made a prediction. It was like April 3rd or April 5th. That I was like trying to make a whole MLB prediction. I didn't even finish the list. But what I had on there was Pujols getting to 700 home runs. That I knew for sure.
But there were like some stupid easy ones. And there's only one thing, like Verlander has like 300 postseason strikeouts, so now he's number 2, I think, all time in the postseason. And I'm gonna need somebody to fact check that because I don't know. I know he's got 300 because they took him out after he got it.
Who's number 1?
I would throw like a Koufax or a Nolan Ryan out there, but
I don't think Ryan pitched in the playoffs enough.
By Koufax, I can believe.
Those are my guesses.
Now, what I did not have in my predictions was the Orioles to finish above 500. Actually, that was
they have a lot of good young players.
No one did.
They're looking up.
Even after they trade away Trey Mancini, kind of the cornerstone for the team, they were.
They weren't going to be able to re-sign him more than likely, so they wanted to get prospects for him.
Yeah. So I mean, he'll be a free agent. He's on rental.
That's like what do you call it? The break of being a small market team.
I don't think they're that small though. They've always had players that like, and I know it's like post World War II era, but Brooks Robinson was, I mean, he survived. They were a good team. You know, when they got Iron Man. No one will ever break that.
I would say the Orioles management are going to be more hesitant to spend money rather than the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Cubs.
Okay, it's more money to go in their pocket and less money, that the players get. That's all they ever fought over. That's what the whole lockout edition that we were going to do was just about greed and how much money do they want us to pay them. Because no contract in the MLB is unattainable per se, because they can always restructure and get more money. And then, like we just saw with Correa, he could opt out. So after one season, he could opt out of a division leading team.
Okay. Well, he probably saw Minnesota and was like, do I really want to be stuck here?
Dude, he was in Houston, Texas, which is, like, from what I hear, one of the, like, it's the LA of Texas, which sounds like it sucks.
It's huge city. Houston's like the size of like our fucking like it puts Boston, like you could fit 5 Bostons in Houston's general.
Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is that it's like the new just like that's the new city to move to, because they don't have the same like laws and stuff that California has. And plus,
I'd say they're the little brother to Dallas in Texas.
Yeah.
Now they have that little brother syndrome, kind of like you guys have with New York City.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like,
we want to cut them off. Like, nah, go away. Hey.
Can't relate.
Just saying, not taking shots, just saying like that type of ideal.
But it was Carrera, it was kind of a strange move in the first place for him to go to the Twins. It's like, well, they paid him the most money. They're not really good. So I mean,
he
did cash out.
Is he going to get more than any other team though in the next 2 years, where he was guaranteed $38.7 million? And with the state taxes in Minnesota, he probably keeps more of that versus like unless he's playing somewhere in Florida
or
Texas.
Texas. He could have pretty much just stayed where he was and made hella. that's off player bonuses and then basically NIL deals because they can still get that shit with car dealerships and everything else that they're doing. Well, LeBron only makes like 50 million a year, and he makes everything else from Nike, AT&T, you know.
Advertisements and sponsors.
Yeah.
He even got his son sponsored by Beats now. He's the only high school athlete to be sponsored by Beats.
Yeah, but that's legal under NIL because it can pay for the school and the college and everything else. But if his son makes $200 million this year coming off a sponsorship from Beats, are we going to look at that like, oh, I shouldn't have to pay $50 for a ticket to the game? Or, you know, should it be 20? But the prices are going to go up because your dollar is worth less. But we still go. So lose.
Wow. Seattle tied it up.
And Seattle is one of those teams where they're sneaky because they can
that,
always come back. Dredger is a
goals.
very good goaltender.
Kid who got the 2 goals from the Bruins. He actually got selected in both the drafts. He got
selected. Oh,
yes.
that's Tanev
by Denalo.
Denalo?
Yeah, Ryan Denalo, he's defenseman.
Oh, Donato, yeah.
Yeah, Donato. He was a Bruins prospect. He got taken in both the expansion drafts. He got taken by Vegas, and then Vegas got taken from.
I don't know if that would be an honor or like a major fuck you. Like, you're young enough, you're skilled enough, but we don't want you.
I think with him was his contract, was a pretty large contract.
I don't know. Like that team, that's another one of those core teams that's just so good.
He had one of those Don Sweeney type contracts where they gave him a sweet deal because he had a couple good years. Like how the Bruins are paying Brandon Carlo fucking like $7 million a year to barely play hockey.
All right, because I have to throw out this fucking name, Drew Stafford. That guy made more, I think, than Carlo, and like he was almost on a Bonilla deal, and I don't know if he had that many points. It was probably like 50, but it was terrible. Like I didn't like the guy. He was a penalty killer. That's all he did. He was like the Steve Tasker of the Sabres, which is like Tasker was special teams only. Like, and I'm not saying special teams is a bad move, but
I'm gonna say the Bruins this year for the Bruins. I've been pleasantly surprised on that last game against the Senators. They got kind of. I've been.
The Senators are going to be good too.
They're missing Charlie McAvoy and also missing Brad Marchand, 2 key pieces to our thing. If we can survive in competitive shape till November when they get back.
Well, yeah, I haven't watched any Bruins yet, but I can feel that it's going to be some close hockey in the East.
It's kind of their last hurrah. I don't see Bergeron sticking around for another year. I think
they'll be fine. You know, that the NHL takes care of the 06 teams, you know, the original 6, and the OGs will know, especially because that's how Bettman's been doing it with Edmonton. He keeps feeding them number 1s, but they still can't do it because like the obvious player is like 2nd or 3rd.
Bruins are the Bruins under their leadership. We've always been able to draft and develop amazing defensemen. The problem with us is scoring forwards is a really rare feat for us.
I have a question about the Bruins. You were mentioning Marchand. You were mentioning the Rat. Has he ever gotten like mono from licking people during the handshake lines yet? I'm just wondering. I mean, he's been doing it so often. I mean, did he ever get mono or anything?
Especially I don't know. Have you got it?
Sweaty and maybe getting blood.
The biggest part about Marchand is you hate him if he's not on your team, but you love him if he is.
Well, Jeff, have you ever gotten mono from Marchand in the line?
Nope.
Okay, then I guess he doesn't give mono. I don't know.
I just like to see the Bruins try to go out one more shot, not just go out in the first couple rounds of playoffs.
Well, now we know, like Zach Wilson wasn't getting mono from other college girls. He was getting it from their moms. And cell 5.
Get on like another thing. Do you hear about the quarterback controversy in New England now? Everybody's saying Zappy or Mac. Everybody around here wants Zappy. They're comparing it to
Okay,
Brady
so
Belichick.
what was it? Macmania versus Zappy what? Like what do they call it?
Dipping it like Zappy or Zappiness.
Zappiness. Let me just absorb that real fast.
That's what they're calling it now.
Like Hatter has the infinite like Spock SMH going on, like or Xavier, I think it might be.
Well,
You know what I'm talking about.
I'd watch Russell Wilson and Justin Fields with my quarterback.
I don't know, John. It is going to be so much harder this season to be a Broncos fan than fuck right there. You saw it right there.
He was just saying, he's like, I'm a Bears fan, but I'm also a Broncos fan. And I was like, oof, oof. You know, like you're just playing some game on God mode and you just can't win.
You want to know a good factoid about Russell Wilson?
Wait, hold
More
on.
bathrooms in his house than touchdowns this year.
He took his headphones out. Oh, he wanted to grab his Broncos hat. This is the saddest moment of the show.
See, the problem is,
if I had a yellow flag right now, I would throw it.
Sorry. See, the thing is, I know.
Oh, he's got a trash bin.
Okay. I know that these guys are going to be shit because expectations have been set low. But with these guys, we have them much higher, so they're going to fall from a higher point.
So what falls faster, 1,000,000 pounds of Bears or 1,000,000 pounds of Broncos?
Probably Denver because it's a mile high.
Actually, they fall at the same rate.
Well, the fact that they extended Wilson so far too.
My patience gonna fall faster.
They gave up their whole future. Like the next 3 first-round picks and the next 2 second-round picks, they do not have.
I mean, I was watching a bit of the Chargers Broncos game the other night.
Wait, you're re-watching that?
No, you said he was watching.
No, on Monday night.
Do you want some of my depression pills?
Fine.
Are you sure? I can send them.
No, when the game was going on Monday, watching it, I was at a meeting, so I didn't see most of the game. So I saw the last few minutes of the end of regulation, and then they got into overtime. They got the ball first. Like, all right, just go down the field. But why the fuck would you pay a quarterback $274 million just to hand it off instead, or to scramble for it? But that's the same thing that Justin Fields is doing. They're running the ball, and actually, I saw that the Bears are leading rushing in the NFL right now, which I'm like, that sounds weird, but I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that they just hand the ball off all the time, right? Or when they do call a passing play, then Fields can't throw because I don't know if he's just uncoordinated or if it's just that the receivers aren't that good enough, which might be the case, to be open.
He looked fine,
so he just scrambles.
So
I think the problem with them is the offense they run around him, not him. In a different team, he might have done better.
So Trey Lance for Fields 1 for 1.
I could see Fields going to like Carolina.
Well, what the Bears don't want with Fields right now is they don't want like the Sam Darnold effect because he's with the wrong OC. Like you got Danny Dimes right now in New York, Jersey, you know, with Dable, and he's slaying. Dude is slaying. And then you got Darnold and, you know, Baker over there, and they can't even figure out who's going to be like the 5th string quarterback because they're just so bad. Like, it's just bad over there, man.
Yeah,
No, it's interesting to see. There's a big controversy though here, where everybody's saying with Zappi we've been undefeated in all the games he started, but the Julian Edelman actually commented on one of his sports podcasts that he thinks they should stick with Zappi, and it's going to divide this locker room.
yay, small sample sizes running organizations.
Yeah, he's got like 4 hot starts, and like he's been in the league like as long as like Mac's been in the bathroom.
God damn, and put Cooper Rush in the Hall of Fame at this point.
All these guys are comparing it to Brady and Bledsoe. They don't know what they're talking about just because it's small sample size. And the other thing they were talking about was the playbook. Like when Mac's your quarterback, our playbook's like this. With Zappi, it's like this. A lot of that.
I don't know. I went to that Thursday night game and I thought their playbook was like this.
Yeah, 3 passes that we still won.
I don't know. I'm just general observation, really.
Yeah, that was more of the weather in that game. That was like a crazy game. I don't think you'll ever see something played like that again.
I think, well, with domes getting more popular, I think it'll happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if domes become required eventually in the NFL.
I mean, Zach Wilson just wants to play more domes. You heard? He wants domes.
Wimps.
Womp.
But it could be worse, Jeff. You could have Carson Wentz as your quarterback.
Yeah, I guess I should count my blessings.
The only thing Wentz is commanding is nothing. He's probably like a commander in Call of Duty or something. But
well, no, to see like what going to happen this season with so many guys hanging it up too. Brady's definitely going to hang it up after the season. Aaron Rodgers has now said that he wants to hang it up at the end of the season, possibly.
He might hang up mid-season just by how bad his receivers are.
What do you get when you let your number one guy go to Vegas for a fuckload of money? And then
He's got nobody. I think they could still win the fucking division. That's how bad that shit is. Like,
yeah, well,
Kirk Cousins, no fucking way. Like maybe, but no.
Cousins always overplays the beginning of the season, then he starts to.
Yeah, like.
And they start to get on primetime games, and then.
Well, he's already
because they don't have enough primetime games. Was that? He just said that.
Well, no, because there's like a stat that Kirk Cousins is like terrible in primetime games.
Yeah.
Oh, so they do well. They put them in the prime time, and that's when they lose. Is that what you're trying to do?
Like probably like during like the regular season, like they do like a flex, and like, all right, the Vikings are doing really good, and they're going to be playing another team that is doing well. It's like a good matchup and
like
playoff potential, and then primetime Kirk comes in and then goes down. They've been wanting. I've been seeing people wanting the Vikings and the Giants to play in primetime because both Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones are terrible in primetime games. So
I remember a game with Daniel Jones on primetime where he the field was wide open. He could have ran it for a touchdown and he slipped and fell. You guys remember that?
Yeah, that's why I was doing the one, and then he falls, and everybody's like, "They do it." That was the man. Yeah, that was a Thursday night.
It might have been a Monday or Thursday.
That was definitely a Thursday. That shit doesn't happen on Monday. But then the radio announcer jinxed Carson Wentz this last week. He goes, Carson Wentz is 6-0 in primetime. And while the Commanders did win the game, Carson Wentz was like 10 for 50 with like 50 yards. And like, it was just a terrible game.
He's still 4th in yards in the NFL, which is like staggering enough.
And that just speaks for the competition of the NFC East. Like
remember a few years ago at this point in the season, collectively as teams, they had 6 wins as a division.
Oh
Remember that?
yeah.
Remember when the 5-11 Panthers went to the playoffs?
No, they're 7-9, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or
Seattle
no,
too. The
yeah,
first year they had Russell
Seattle
Wilson.
was no. It was
They played the
Ra-
Super Bowl, I think, against the Hawks.
It was the St. Louis Rams that were 7-9, or the Seahawks. I remember it was one year. It was the
I think
end
it
of.
was the Seahawks too. I think you had both of them, Jeff.
Hold on. I'm gonna Google. We're gonna GTS this. Do you know what GTS stands for? GTS. Google that shit.
Oh, let's Google that.
Google that shit.
Oh, that's good for the show. You know, we don't get a lot of straight facts. We just go, I'm darn tootin' sure.
Oh, it
that
was
this
it
is-
was Seattle. So Seattle Seahawks, 2010. So thank you, TJ.
And that was a Peyton Manning year. I think they beat him.
All right, hold on. There's actually an article here. 5 times that the a losing team. Oh, it was 2014 that the Panthers were 7-8-1 and made the playoffs. 2020.
That's how the NFC East is going to be. Like, so the Eagles are going to get to 8, and they're like, we can go 8-8 and still win this.
Well, the interesting thing with Dallas too, they have a quarterback controversy in Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott.
Oh,
But Dak
Yeah,
has-
but that's like saying it right now. Drop Josh Allen for Mitchie Trubisky, all right? Okay, and we've watched the Steelers, all right? We beat them 38-3, all right? We're not putting in Mitchie, all right? He needs more chunky soup or something. Like, he's not doing it.
what was it that was funny? The Tom Brady thing really grind my gears and got me mad with him comparing NFL seasons to deployments.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah. So what's that noise on ESPN where they give the points? Yeah, I'm taking points for that one, Tom Brady.
Oh, Around the Horn. Love that show. Mute him.
I just don't see, like, he's lost a step. He was screaming at the sideline in that Pittsburgh game because they were losing at his lineman.
It is lineman, yeah.
He was out partying and missed the workout.
There was
He was
I think it was this past weekend that I don't know who it was, but there was a Steelers player that was injured while they were playing the Bucks, and he's lying on the ground injured while everyone's the staff is tending to him, and Brady's taking reps. He's practicing while it's like, what a jerk, what a prick, just to be like, oh yeah, some guy's injured on the field. Let me just practice best I can, just so it's not gonna do anything for the overall outcome.
I mean, I would, I'm
Brady
down
went
there.
full,
Might as well be the best.
Brady
I
went-
wake up in the morning and I piss excellence.
Brady went full Infinity mode by coming back because his wife's divorcing him now.
I gave up my family for this, you worthless fucks.
Well, it's just like he could have had it so good if he just stayed in New England. We might not have won another Super Bowl, but he wouldn't have had all this bullshit.
Yeah.
He would have his final farewell tour.
I agree with that. But at the same time,
He just ran like LeBron, how LeBron got scared of that division. How LeBron got scared of
exactly.
X, and he was like, I'm going to join a super team.
Yeah, and while it worked one time, I don't think it's going to work anymore.
No, he's not the same caliber player anymore.
How were the Bucks a super team before Brady? Are you talking are you talking about like super team like when they won the Super Bowl in like 2002?
No, they won all months.
With Rich Gannon?
Well, no, all these guys won. All the Bucks signed all these guys like.
Or was that Rob Johnson? No, I think it was Rob Johnson.
They had such high draft picks where Brady was able to go in there, slot in, make the team his own, and just.
Yeah, but that's not what they do now, because once they go there, they're like, oh, I want to play with him, and then they just go there.
Could be worse. He could have been in Miami.
He apparently tried to fleece the guy and going over there. So, I mean, there's always that.
It's pretty interesting though. like how the league's changed. Like the player safety thing definitely needs to change.
I was gonna say, because if Brady was in Miami right now, would Miami still have ignored all the back injuries that he had? Just like Tua had back injuries, getting clocked out, and
He's probably had
and,
so
and put
many.
and put him back into danger.
He would
Well,
have
the
never
scary
been in
thing is,
danger.
Tua actually talked to the media last night, and he was talking about how he doesn't remember anything. He doesn't remember getting carted off the field. He doesn't remember anything until he gets to the hospital. He's like, and I'm at 20. I'm in the prime of my life, and I can't remember this thing that happened to me.
CTE.
Well, that's the risk you take with these running style quarterbacks because these hits add up.
But not everybody's a running style quarterback. I'll never forget when EJ Manuel fucking basically ended his career in week 5. He was running for something and dude took his knee out and that was it. That was EJ right there. That's all we got out of him, like a year and a half, 17
You had
games.
Robert Griffin III.
You got your
I hated EJ
RG3s, your
Manuel.
2 cosmetic legs. Right? Have you guys have seen that meme where it's got the 2 boots and it says, I got my RG3s on.
So bad. Like that
I
running
gotta tap into the score. What do you got for the score there? Oh, 92, 97. Yeah, I really did not think that Phoenix, they shoot so many fucking threes, don't they?
That's every NBA team now. Nobody plays defense. They all just shoot threes.
Everybody yesterday, like there was a huge over under on all the threes. Like I only took like 5 guys to make threes. A total, I had nailed the number of attempts and nobody made one.
I hate watching sports in general with my dad, just because he'll try to coach from the couch, especially when it's for basketball. We don't really watch much basketball; it's just not our thing. Usually, it's like hockey and baseball for our family. But whenever we're watching basketball, he's like, they're living and dying on the threes. Just play the bet, just shoot the ball, do a layup. It's like, God damn it, that's not how it is anymore. Steph Curry changed it all. He made it cool to shoot a 3. So stop it. I always hear that, and especially like during the draft, he's like, yeah, these first round guys, they're bums. I'd rather select a guy in like the 4th, 5th, maybe 6th round. They got something to prove. Just like that one time Brady guy. It's like, shut up. How often did that really happen?
You know the probability of making the NBA after the top 10 picks have been picked?
Well,
What the fuck none?
Not good because they haven't selected me yet.
Remember the guy that got traded for the Cardinals?
When did your Be a Pro get selected? Like fucking 3rd round?
No, do you remember when that guy that got traded
4th.
for the
What's up?
Cousins? Remember the guy who got traded from the Nets for a copier?
Dude,
I do remember that. I
you
don't
gotta
know who it
watch
was, but I
that
remember
video
story.
on like in hockey, future considerations used to mean like $1.
Then you got teams like they're paying players that haven't even played for them. Like they're playing some guy from the Red Wings, correct?
The Yotes are still paying Datsuk. Yeah, he's gonna be off their payroll by the end of 2028.
Oh, just before the end of the decade. Congrats.
He'll be like 54. Just like the Sabres are gonna play Ben Bishop, but he's retired. But
I thought he was still goaltending for the Stars.
Ben Bishop? No. He had career-ending surgery, and the Sabres traded for a guy that has a 6 or 7 million per year cap hit. And I was like, really? We couldn't just extended one of the youngsters? We had to, get this butthole on our team.
I'd say the Sabres are looking up. They're actually fun to watch now. With talking Krebs up.
Hear me out. Let's say you have 2 options. All right. One option is getting a player that will never play for you but he will affect your salary cap. All right. Option number 2 is you are going to sign a rookie player to an extension anyway for the same amount as that dead weight that you did in option 1. Okay. Now tell me what you would prefer, the dead weight player or the player that's active. Wow, that's a head scratcher.
Team's actually competitive or not in the rookie.
Well, see, that's going to kill a team when it comes to the trade deadline, and that's why the deadline has been such a controversy, because when the deadline kicks in, there is no salary cap. So all those players on long-term injured reserve. So if there was like a true secret, like let's say he's still in God mode and they want to try to play him, the salary cap won't kick in. And let's say ours is, 100 million to be safe, which I doubt it is because we were right at the bottom. And we could just grab all these players off injured reserve and put them all in our lineup. And, if that's what it takes to win a cup team, Tampa's done it 3 times. So,
It didn't work out the last few times.
There's a guy on YouTube that I watch a lot for hockey. He's called the Hockey Guy. He's been doing it for like 5-6 years or so now, maybe more. And his name's Shannon. He's out of Vancouver area. He's a Bruins, Vancouver, and Stars fan. So
I think I watch him, the one with the hockey cards in the back behind him.
Yep, he's got the whiteboard.
Yeah, he's got all the jerseys too. He has like all
and the cats. And he was saying, because you're talking about the trading, I don't know in which video, but he's like, there's no like classic trading anymore. Player for player, player for draft pick. You have to consider now the salary cap and how much that's in effect now. It's like, yeah, it's adding on a complication. So it's not like good old fashioned hockey trading. Like, I'll trade you this one guy for that other guy. No, it's like, all right, well, it's not based on talent so much. It's also a complex of the financing.
But you've seen the future consideration trades, right?
Every team's trying to fleece each other.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys have seen those trades where it's like this guy got traded for future considerations, and then the next time they want to trade, they're like, how about those future considerations that you owe us? And they're like, how about a bag of pucks? And they're like, all right, yeah, I guess that's fair.
We have guys like the Bruins who picked up guys for like nothing. Like we got Taylor Hall off of y'all.
Yeah, but that was a deadline deal, and that's how that worked because the salary cap didn't hit. To make a guy have $6 million that doesn't even hit him, it's brilliant the way it's written for the deadline. Because if you were gonna do a sign in, a trade and sign, then it makes total sense. But if you're just farting around and you want a team with an unlimited salary cap, fucking go for it. Now's the time to shine. Trade the farm. Go.
Well, it's interesting to see some teams like starting to like blossom. Like the Red Wings goaltender had a shutout. Like there's a lot of young guys in the league now. They're starting to get their own stride now too.
Yeah. I see you guys are both focusing on a game or something here.
Yeah, I get the
PJ definitely is.
I got the Seattle and the Blues on TV over here.
Well, I can say it's safe to wrap this up. It has been a long 5 months since we've even taped anything. So, video special shout out to J38C Josh. Thank you for your request to have us do something tonight because that's pretty much what made us tap in, and then we knew our guy was going to be free. Go Cubs.
This is actually a newer hat that I got based on the Chicago theater. The store Pro Jersey Sports made a Chicago tourism pack. So the Chicago Cubs City Connect logo for their like jersey side patch for the sleeve in a kind of logo for the front and very connecting to the Chicago theater.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm at 590-ish hats now total in my collection, and I've passed 100 hats for the year. So
We're not
Small.
doing math. No, we're not.
Well,
I'm definitely going down by him.
There
Yeah,
will not be hat math done on this channel.
well, I'm not going to go through the rest of the math. I mean, I have a whole spreadsheet to break down where I bought the hat style, hat categories, hat styles, and hat brands, and also even the colors of the hats. And the unfortunate tab that I have in the spreadsheet is how much I pay for hats. I do
Yeah,
not- I do
I'm
not like
not
looking
looking
at
that
sheet.
number up there, bud.
But yeah, I'm small plug trying to work on more videos for my channel, but I get lazy pretty fast.
Well, I mean, it's not like we were taking a vacation, but TJ here was boating, and then we were trying to get some other guests on. I do have some people planned to get us, we want to get on and have like just a clusterfuck of routine going on. We want to have like a cards after darks, going on but
Yeah, me, you,
it's
Jordan.
gonna be an anything goes recorded session. So, fuck it, let's go for it. And
Yeah, fuck it.
Fucking A. And we got a couple guests lined up, some people doing curving and shit downtown, all that stuff. The stretching. I've got content planned, so it's not like
remember always fly your own flag. It's a new era thing.
That's right.
And diversity too.
Yeah.
So as we have traditionally said on our channel, we do the peace, the love, and the cap. Where's my button?